Wait a minute. What just happened? What a strange feeling it is to leave a place that you've never known, but seems to know you. It's a hometown where I didn't grow up, filled with relatives of no blood relation that I may not see again. I wish I could go back for just one moment, to relive the night sky, the battles on the transom, the interactions with the villagers that relied on hand gestures and broken Spanish. And it all happened here. A fishing lodge enveloped by dense jungle canopy, where city lights are a satellite phone call away. The outside world can't find us. It can't hear the roar of the sport fishers' engines, the exotic opus performed by monkeys and macaws, the clinking of cocktails celebrating good people and great days on the water. It's time to leave, I know. But before we go, one last trip home. In Panama City, the methodical precision of the canal's locks serve as a tourist attraction. But that's not the action we're looking for. Our destination is 150 miles away. Transportation includes a small charter plane and a runway that has no business being there. Except that nearly a century ago, word got out about a black marlin fishery on the country's Pacific coast, known as Pinas Bay. If Panama is the letter S, Pinas Bay can be found at the letter's curled terminal. Sure, there are other reference points to mark its location. Darien National Park to the northeast, the Colombian border to the southeast. But if you're talking about Pinas Bay, you're talking about Tropic Star Lodge. Apanga delivers us to Tropic Star's dock. There are accommodations for 38 guests in 19 air-conditioned rooms. Humans are outnumbered by every other species in residence. You're more likely to come across exotic birds and Panamanian land crabs who took a wrong turn during a migration. The lodge is more family reunion than resort getaway. Dinner starts promptly at 7, and the meal doesn't begin until all the guests are in their seats. The lodge opened in 1961 as Club de Pesca. 2 years later, it was on the cover of Sports Illustrated, with an 18-page feature about the kind of saltwater exploits that make Tropic Star famous. World records, grandeurs, and let's not overlook Big Julie, the resort's signature catch, a black marlin weighing in at an estimated 1,200 pounds that was satellite tagged before release. Yeah! Captain Richard White has been running sport fishers around the world for the past 8 years. As Tropic Star's fishing director, he's our guide and fishing Svengali for the week.
The most special thing about Tropic Star Lodge is the people. The fishing is mind-blowing, given that's what everyone hears about it. The fishing is one of the best spots in the world. You'll often hear that about Tropic Star Lodge, it's family run, but for me it's actually family of people. When you come here, you meet very like-minded people. They have the same passions, they have the same interests. And so friendships are started here that span huge distances, and they become family and we become family with them. And so it's, for me, the greatest thing about Tropic Star Lodge is the people.
The familia vibe extends into the neighboring Choco Indian village. Many of the staff, crew, and guides call the village home, and their jobs at the lodge help support its people. On the day we visit, the pastimes of your typical neighborhood are on display. The men talking shop, children at play, soccer games breaking out wherever there's space. The villagers regularly come to the lodge to sell their art and wares. and perform native rituals and dances. Recreational fishing built this community. 1,800 lives solely rely on this entire operation, an impact that doesn't go unnoticed by its owners and its guests. The Bash brothers showed up, a Pacific Jack Crevalle and a bluefin trevally. These two are aggressive fighters, while at the same time showing off their true colors, beautiful ones. Understanding the depth and diversity of the fishery requires a deeper look. More specifically, into the depths of the past below, where the reef creates an underwater landscape that rivals the one's topside. Sport Fishing Television is brought to you by Ram Trucks, powered by Ram Trucks. Guts, glory, Ram. By Yellowfin, your legacy. By Simrad, go with confidence. And by Mercury Marine, #1 on the water. Driven to Fish, powered by Ram Trucks. Those portraits from years ago, proud men with the day's catch, rugged smirks all around. This is the place of records, ones that include commas. The big battles began in the 1930s with its pioneers, S. Kip Farrington and the Schmidt brothers. They were there for the black marlin. They found the honey hole, a hidden reef that ran amok with marine life. Schools of bonito and skipjack brought in the beasts. From there, word spread, all the way to Texas. Ray Smith, an oilman, built the original lodge in 1961 as a home for himself. Smith then caught one of the first IGFA record marlin on 12-pound line. Proof in the pudding, right from the get-go. In 1976, Conway Kittredge of Orlando, Florida, bought the lodge. His family to this day runs it all. Kittredge's daughter, Terry Andrews, and her husband, Mike, manage the operation. It's more than a business. It's a place that has created a history of its own. 250 IGFA world records and many junior angler world records hail from Pinas Bay. Tropic Star has produced more applications for records than any other fishing lodge. There are brutes in these waters. Every season, the anglers come, all wanting the same thing: high-speed pursuit on a loaded sea. And there's one way to get there. Here it is, the Strong Arm Fleet. 31-foot Bertram hulks and a Hatteras just for kicks run this area. Seeing them round up and head out is a thing of beauty. A real warrior outfit, ready for action. Geared up to take on the day. The sounds of horsepower, the smell of diesel, and looking out to the horizon, no end in sight. The army of sport fishers is an extension of Tropic Star. It defines its spirit. Classic, weathered, built to last. It's the right battalion to face these waters. Tropic Star has made improvements from boat upgrades to new amenities. But when it comes to fishing, all you have to do is show up with a shirt on your back. There are many stories to tell from many viewpoints. All I know is the story that I experienced, which will be seared into my brain for years to come.
Sport Fishing Television, powered by Ram Trucks, is being brought to you by Yeti Coolers, built for the wild. By Penn, let the battle begin. And by King Sailfish Mounts, for that once-in-a-lifetime catch. Driven to Fish, powered by Ram Trucks.
Come on, take your base, and let's start the race. Come on, take your guitar, and we'll reach the stars. I know your body needs my body. When you're on your own, when you're all alone, I want rock and roll.
I had only heard of Tropic Star Lodge. I had drooled over the photography, the films, the articles, and books. But being here is the only way to know it. I'm having my Indiana Jones moment, pressed up against an adventure that I'll only be able to fully explain once I'm back on American soil. Going from the sensory overload of Panama City, filled with high-rise buildings and bustling streets, to landing on a dirt strip. Bam, you landed safely smack dab in the middle of the Darien jungle. From square one, it's a no-holds-barred situation, city to wild. I've never seen anything like it. You're thrown into a different time. It doesn't adhere to the trappings of life back home. The first thing that is noticed is the sounds. The noise of what lies beneath the greens and browns. Birds, insects, owls, like a nature soundtrack on loop. But once you arrive at Tropic Star, it's time to go. 1 minute you're chugging coffee and getting up for the day, and then you're on the water. The fleet heads out as one. The morning sunshine cuts across the cliffs. First up, bait. The guides and mates are hungry. It's their own side sport. They are competitive to put their anglers on the best fish of the day. Getting bait is part of the game. Each Bertram is set up with its own creation of a live well. Tropic Star is all about reinventing, but somehow staying the same. The mates aboard don't care about an angler's status. Novice, vet, whatever. They are there to help, to catch fish. They are masters of the bridle. Language barriers are broken when fish are on the line. A smile is a smile. These waters are their backyard. You couldn't ask for better guides. And you certainly can't ask for a better fishing area. It's a sanctuary for sport fishing. No commercial fishing is allowed within 20 miles of Pinas Bay. Think of it as a members-only spot. There are no sounders, nothing high-tech. It's not needed. These mates know. Find the right rock, the right bait, and start the timer. In Pinas Bay, there are 3 types of fishing. First, slow trolling with live bait for marlin, where you can pick up dorado and tuna along the way. Second is inshore, only miles off with a big bait down at the bottom, between 50 to 60 feet, a hot spot for amberjack and roosters. Last, the bottom drop, way down into the grouper's domain. The era of family-operated fishing lodges seems to be coming to an end in some parts of the world. Tropic Star is one of the last great ones. It's here to stay. But seclusion has its challenges. It compensates with an entrepreneurial pulse that doesn't rely on a jumpstart from some fat cat. It's self-made and self-reliant.
Sport Fishing Television is being brought to you by Ram Trucks, powered by Ram Trucks. Guts, glory, Ram. By King Sailfish Mounts, for that once-in-a-lifetime catch. By the Florida Keys and Key West, come as you are. And by Costa Sunglasses. See what's out there. When you're 150 miles from civilization, paved roads are non-existent. Boat deliveries infrequent. And sending weighty engines off for repair on a small prop plane isn't an option. So you find another way, your own. Isolation is the mother of invention.
I can't send everything back to Panama to be repaired and bring it back. Just the logistics of doing that would be detrimental to everything you had down here. You couldn't afford it.
Tropic Star has learned to be self-sufficient. The staff constantly acquires new skills and trades because they have to.
So we taught everybody in-house how to do certain things. I mean, I taught my fiberglass guys how to do all the fiberglass work, and then it's trial by error, learning other things, making all of our molds and repairing the boats, and you name it.
A tour of the facilities with Mike reveals inventories of everything you can imagine. Rods, reels, line, and lures. Machine parts, hand-cut lumber, props, fiberglass molds, furniture for the guest rooms. It's a tackle shop, hardware store, mechanics garage, and IKEA showroom rolled into one. This 40-year-old sport fisher that collided with a whale shark will be back to work on the water.
We should probably have this thing operational next week.
Nice fight.
The punk rocker of fish, the pissed-off jack with a mohawk, a flamboyant zebra print stegosaurus. The roosterfish is on most anglers' bucket list. Once thought to be a species of jack, roosterfish are in fact their own family, but they certainly fight with jack-like stubbornness and power. But add to that fight the ability to jump, which further explains their appeal as game fish. And what of that dorsal fin? Is it for making the fish look bigger to predators? Or a beacon for spawning purposes? Theories abound. When swimming, the dorsal is down, but when excited or feeding, it goes up. A tattered mainsail on a silver cutter. A lit-up rooster cutting through the vibrant inshore waters, hot on the trail of a live bait or popper, is one of sport fishing's most memorable sights. They can reach weights in excess of 100 pounds. The IGFA record of 114 pounds has remained untouched since 1960. Roosters are unique to the Eastern Pacific. where they're caught from Baja into northern South America, near beaches and rocky shores. We pose for a quick photo op and release Iggy Pop back to the sea.
Rooster, baby, rooster!
The last night, one more gathering. The energetic chatter subsides only when Terry stands to address the group.
It has been such a pleasure to have you. We're so proud of this place and we love showing it off. And this place would not be here if it weren't for you.
This meal marks the end of the trip, but for some guests, the farewell is only temporary.
The fishing here is unreal. I keep coming back.
The final goodbye isn't difficult. It's the anticipation of the next hello that stays with you. When will we come back? If ever. It's a bittersweet notion, but at Tropic Star, water is thicker than blood. Distance can't disconnect the friendships created. The real world's frantic buzz waits for us just beyond the edge of the jungle. But when we're back on our daily grind, Tropic Star will still be here, packing a life's worth of trophies and stories into week-long adventures, like some sportsman's fever dream. With each passing season, new members join its extended family. I might be long gone, but the grumble of an old sport fisher brings me right back.